Don.
Okay, so yes means yes. That's the idea at the heart of a new California bill targeting campus rape. And it's one step closer to becoming law after passing the state's General Assembly. Governor Jerry Brown has not indicated his stance on this controversial bill, requiring schools that get state funding to adopt new safety guidelines for students. The law would mandate that potential partners get some sort of quote-unquote affirmative consent before anything sexual happens. That language has some students scratching their heads as to how far they can go on a nod or a wink. It also has people debating whether it's a good idea to have college administrators, rather than the police and law enforcement professionals, deciding when a rape has taken place or has not taken place. To that end, the exact language is that the affirmative consent standard would declare that an individual must obtain unambiguous affirmative consent prior to any sexual relationships and sexual relations, not relationships. And then the bill would also declare that consent cannot be given if you're drunk.
So wait, a legal perspective, give me an example.
Okay, I'm going to give you an example. So now I'm an 18-year-old kid. I just started in college, and I haven't had much sexual activity, and I meet a girl, and in my pocket, I have to have some documents and a breathalyzer. So we see that we have some sort of love connection going on. First thing I have to do is make sure you're not drunk. Now,
this is true.
I'm an 18-year-old kid. I have to make sure you're not intoxicated. So now blow into the Alka-Seltzer. Okay, we passed that test. Now, we're going to start kissing. That's first base.
Are you not going to do a horizontal gaze and a sag?
No, we're not going to do the whole field. Now we're going to get to first base. You need to acknowledge to me that we could kiss. Now we're going to go to second base. And now there's another acknowledgement. Okay. Now we're going to go to third base, and then the home run.
The point of this is that the state will only take on the complaint from the woman, if it's a woman. We'll only take it on if all of that takes place. If it doesn't, then it goes into the hands of the school?
No, what happens is this. They're switching the standard that this country is founded on, of innocent until proven guilty, to guilty until proven innocent. So basically, if a student calls the public safety and says, I've been sexually assaulted by him, he's getting brought into the school administrators.
That's scary.
There's going to be a tribunal, and he has to prove his innocence.
But just to be clear, sexual assault would be kissing somebody without their affirmative verbal assent? Or
well, it's got to be, what did I say it was? It has to be unambiguous.
Yeah. Well,
so you tell me what you tell me.
It seems like it would have to be
what's unambiguous consent?
Well, I think they've got it wrong. I think it should be no means no.
Well, which is kind of what it is.
How you say yes.
Yeah. So let me put a statistic in here to make you realize just how serious and significant this problem is on college campuses. The Department of Justice did a study back in 2007 that revealed that nearly 20% of all women on college campuses are victims of sexual assault at some point in their college career. And by the way, I want to add to that, 6% of men experience this on college campuses as well.
But doesn't it seem like the person who's going to do a sexual assault probably isn't the person who's going to be asking these kinds of questions? I feel it almost feels like the person who would accede to this would be somebody who's never going to assault
somebody. This kind of assumes that everybody's in a way like a rapist. I mean, first of all, it's also going to deprive people of their due process, because now you're putting people who are, shouldn't be in charge of making these determinations, seriously could potentially violate somebody's rights, ruin their life.
Expelling them from school. We all know what that...
How about education? Like, how about more outreach and more awareness and forums and things to understand? And like you said, no means no, versus making this convoluted thing that, I think it's just destined to fail.
I also was wondering from a legal perspective, I mean, this is the government telling you what you have to say.
Once
isn't that unconstitutional? I mean, it feels like an infringement on your free speech.
That's what I'm saying. It violates your due process and the whole yard.
The government sliding in.
But it only applies to schools that get government money.
Know better, not
It only applies. So basically, they say if we're giving you the money, we decide how you handle this. I totally disagree with
All right, Governor Jerry Brown, you know the right thing to do on this.
Does he? I don't know.
How far would you go to get your own sweet around-the-clock service and a massive supply of food? The amazing thing this panda did to get special treatment.